All right, what's up, guys? VV back with another video, and in today's video, guys, we got a market watch lined up. So, for anyone who might be new to the channel, on the 1st and the 15th of every single month, we do a market watch, see how the prices are moving. Okay, so today is that day. Let's just dive straight into it. Not too much else to talk about. First things first, we are going to head over to tcgplayer.com. That's right, guys. No, on the days that we do the market watch, no VV Lab, no topic of the day. It's just a dedicated market watch style video because we have a lot to talk about. So first things first, we're going to be heading over to tcgplayer.com. We'll probably cross-reference that a little bit with the card market for the European players. But mainly, we're going to be focusing on tcgplayer.com. After that, we're going to be heading all the way over to Limitless TCG, and we're going to see how much decks are costing right now. If you were to buy like every single card, just make the deck from scratch. So that's a good segment for the new players. If you're trying to get into the game and you want to you want to avoid the idea of like messing around with starter decks and you just want to go straight into what works, we'll see how much decks are costing to just buy completely from scratch. Okay, and then after that, we will finish off with at least one game on the sim, right? We've got a game of Blue-Black Promo Saka. A little bit of fun for today, okay? And we'll wrap it up in that way. I'll show you guys the deck list I'm running and all that good stuff. Okay, guys, let's do this. Let's get into it. I will have everything time-stamped down in the general description. I will have all relevant deck lists and links down in the comment section below. And yeah, if you guys have any comments, any questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to ask. One more thing, right before we get started here, I do have a TCG Player affiliate link that will be linked in the comment section or in the general description. So if you don't mind clicking on that, if you plan on making any purchases anytime soon, that would really help me out. I really appreciate that if you guys could do that. So now let's hop into this, guys. First things first, we're actually going to be going and checking out the Gold Dawn that is out now in the PRB01 set. Guys, check this out. Now, typically speaking, the people who follow my channel are probably surprised right now because I don't ever deal with alt arts. Like, that is something I don't cover on my market watch because that's more of a collector thing. I'm not saying it's not important, but I don't typically care too much for that side of it. I always want to see what cards cost at the very lowest rarity so that new players are coming into the game and it's keeping the game healthy by, being, I always like to make sure that the market is low enough for new players to hop into the game and keep it healthy. But today, we've got a special feature today for the Gold Dawn cards coming out of PRB01. Okay, the Premium Boosters 01. And guys, check out some of these prices. Now, I will say this. Notice the Gold Dawn card on the far left. That is a promo. The very top left card up here, that's a promo card. That does not come in PRB01. But all the rest of these cards we see here are the Gold Border Special Edition Dawn cards from PRB01. And guys, these prices are all over the place. These prices are all over the place. We have some cards as expensive as like $95, and then all the way up to $220 for the Zorro card. And then there are some that are as cheap as like $51, $29. Guys, it's all over the place. Like I said, it depends on like how much people really want the card. The one that I'll be keeping my eye on is just because I love white, black, and gold as like a color theme. I have my Gold Dawn cards over here on the left already that I want, but I am keeping an eye on this Dawn for the gold Kaido cards. But they're still $70. I'm gonna have to wait before I maybe snatch up a play set of those. I'll have to wait over time, see if it goes down at all. It might not, to be honest, guys. I don't expect these cards to go down too much. Who knows? Maybe they will, maybe they won't. But these pieces look awesome, guys. These new Dawn cards, these look incredible. And let me say this right now: if I were to ever get into any kind of like alt arts at all, which I do not run any alt arts in my main deck. My leader's not alt art. Not a single card in my deck is alt art, or even a Dawn. Even my Dawn that I usually run are just completely just the base, the normal Dawn. I've been saving up for these white and gold ones. I have about 5 of these, and I want to combo those with some Dawn coming out in the future that are black and gold. Well, hopefully they come out in the future. I don't know if they'll ever hit the West, but I want to combo those where it's like a white and gold and black and gold theme. Because that's like my favorite color combo, just period. I just like white, black, and gold. I think it looks incredible. So I am working on that, but that's still a work in progress. Other than that, everything I run is base rarity. No alt arts anywhere at all. However, I will say this. If you're trying to, one of the alt arts that is justified in my mind are Dawn cards. Because Dawn cards actually stay in whatever deck you're running, right? Like if you're running, you know, a red-green deck one day or a blue-black deck the next day, it doesn't matter, right? The Dawn cards can be changed in and out of any of those decks. The leaders, I think, would be my second go-to if I were to ever get into Dawn cards. Number one is, or excuse me, if I was ever to get into alt arts, number one would be the Dawn cards. Number two would be the leader cards. Because, like in my case with Red, Yellow, Sabo, of course, that's a leader that I play non-stop. Okay, so it makes sense to get an alt art for that leader, right? But if you're, you know, whatever your main leader is, it does make sense to get that, because no matter what cards you change in and out of the deck, your leader will stay the same if that is your number one primary go-to deck. So anyway, just wanted to show you guys this real quick. The prices are pretty crazy. We are going to look at these over on the EU market real quick as well. And I think it's about the same. Some are a little bit different, a little tiny bit different. Let me see something real quick. I think that Luffy one is way more expensive over here in the West. Or, well, I guess over in America. But I'm not even seeing it on this list. Oh, here, it's right down here at the bottom. So yeah, notice this, guys. This is going for like $78 to $98 over here in the West. But over in on Cardmarket, it's only $48. So that is something to keep an eye on, guys. I will say, now notice these up here, guys. These are foil, not the gold ones. You got to look at the border to make sure it's a gold border if it's the ones we're talking about, the really special expensive ones. But it looks like overall all the prices are roughly the same. Okay, these are a little bit mixed up. Like here's some of the here's some foil ones as well in the midst of like gold ones. Okay, only 53 euros for the Kaido card over in the on the card market, or in Cardmarket. I might have to keep my eye on this, because this is something, like I said, I think what I'd want to do is I'd want about maybe just like 4 or 5 of these, and then 5 of the white gold ones we looked at right here at the top left. And I kind of just want to, you know, mix and match it like that. And what I really want to do is mix and match white gold and then black gold, but that has not been released over in the West yet, the black gold cards. Excuse me, over in the, yeah, did I say the West? They're over in the East, but they're not in the West yet. So that's something I'm going to keep an eye on. All right, let's keep going. A little bit of a rant there. I usually don't go over the alt art stuff or the extra rarity stuff, but that was, I had to make an exception for the Dawn cards. Those were really cool. Okay, so guys, let's get straight into this. We're going straight into the red cards now for TCG Player. We're going to be checking these out. I'm going to try to go through these pretty quickly. I've been taking a little too long on these Market Watch videos. I don't think they need to run as long as they have been, so I'm going to try and speed it up just a little bit. We're mainly going to focus on secret rares from each one of these, and then some of the SRs. There might be a few exceptions to that, but we're going to try and get through this pretty quickly here. First thing, you know, right up front and center here, we got Rayleigh. I don't understand why this card is so expensive right now, other than the fact that it is Rayleigh. Okay, so it's like, you know, coolest character in the show, obviously. You know, no bias at all, right, guys? Yeah, even though he's my favorite character, 0% bias. But Rayleigh is $25 right now, a pop over here in the on TCG Player. And it goes up from there. It's like 1 is 25, and then it just goes up 27, 28. I'm not sure what's going on here, guys. This is a card that does not see play in any topping deck currently. I'm sure it will see some play over time. Like, the decks that will probably be running this and actually be pretty good, Red Purple Luffy might run this. I have seen some lists run it. Shanks will more than likely run this. And then maybe, I'm trying to think. You guys help me out in the comment section below if I miss any. Just please, you know, keep it civil. But I think also like Red Blue Marco. But Red Blue Marco is not exactly tearing it up right now, right? Red Blue Marco is not exactly tearing it up. So this card being at this price point, I don't know, guys. This is like the same situation that I saw with Zoro, where it's like, okay, yeah, this secret rare is good in like maybe 1 or 2 decks, if that. And then it's still running for like $20, $25. Now, eventually, that one did go down in price. We're going to look at Zoro as well. But this card, I think it's still new enough where people really want to, you know, people are probably still just trying to get their play sets of it. That probably has a lot to do with it. Because this is a pretty timeless card, guys. Like, what this effect does, it can go in any deck. The types are not helping what we're doing currently. Who knows? There might be maybe there will be a way to search this card up in the future. Like if there's like a Roger Pirates deck that can search up any card with Roger Pirates in its types, maybe that will come up in the future. Who knows? But currently, like I said, guys, this card is not exactly just running, like taking decks and making them run away with the meta in the West or the East. Let me be very clear, in the West or the East. But we will keep an eye on this. This is the one card I'm not quite sure why it is as high as it is. But it's a secret rare. It's a very strong card. It's just a generically strong card for red, and that probably has a lot to do with it. Good stuff. We'll keep an eye on it. Next up is Tony Chopper. This is one I have not been showing off recently. I don't know why. It just kind of slipped under my radar. But this card's sitting around the $13 mark. This is an EB01 card, guys. These EB01 cards are a nightmare. They need to reprint this entire set. That would be very nice. Hopefully they do that. But yeah, this card's a little expensive. But this card might go down a little bit. Excuse me, because I don't foresee this card really like picking up any steam anytime soon. But you never know. You never know. This is probably going to be a very solid card in Sanji, the new promo Sanji card that came out in PRB01. And of course, it's good in Zero. So it's not like it's a bad card, but it's also one of those cards that, like I'm saying, it's not really a super popular card. I could see this card going down in price a little bit, but who knows? We'll have to see. Next up is Kid Killer. I think this card has kind of stabilized under the $3 mark, and that is a very good thing. This is not an SR. This is just an R, just a rare. But still, this card, look at this, guys. For a while, it was like in the $4 or $5 range for just a rare, not a super rare. So this card's going down in price. That's really good to see. And that will kind of be a more common theme for today's video, I think, guys. I think a lot of cards are going down in price. Not necessarily this one, though. So 7 cost Ace. This was not reprinted in the PRB01 set. I don't believe it was. And check this out, guys. You can see the price on this rising a little bit. I would snag these if you don't already have them. I know. So I always have to say this rule in every single video. If there's an SR that's $5 or less, I'm buying it with zero hesitation because I feel like that's a good enough price point for cards of that rarity. With secret rares, I do that at $10 and less. Now, that doesn't mean I won't buy cards for more than that. I will buy cards for more than that. But what I'm saying is when a card's under $5, it's a snap decision for me. I buy it immediately for SRs. For any card under $5, I'm buying immediately. But for secret rares, if it's under $10, I'll still buy that immediately because I think it's a pretty good price point for a card of that rarity. But Ace, guys, if you're planning on playing anything red with Whitebeard Pirates in it, I don't know what you're waiting for at this point, right, guys? Because I've been talking about this card, I think, every single Market Watch video for probably the past 2 months, 3 months, however long it's been. And look at this. It used to be around the $5 to $6 range. It would peak up to like $7 and whatnot. But now it's around the $9 range, and it looks like it's probably only going to go up. I mean, judging by this trend, we'll have to see. We'll have to keep our eye on it. Okay. Now, Whitebeard, or Newgate, excuse me, Edward Newgate, went way down in price, right? Because this card was reprinted in the new PRB set. Look at this, guys. It just fell off a cliff. That's what we want to see. That is what we want to see, guys. Look at how low this card went. All the way, and now it's all the way down to under $1. You love to see it. Snag these now if you don't have them. I would snag them, period, if you're playing any form of red. If you plan on playing any red deck in the future, I would get this card because that leader effect is not locked. Okay, or excuse me, the effect to buff your leader is not locked. So I would absolutely grab this card as soon as possible. Whereas Ace is very restricted to Whitebeard Pirates for the full effect. Kid and Killer, though, Newgate, I would snag these as soon as you guys can. Tony Chopper, I'd probably hesitate on for a little bit. And then with Silver's Rayleigh, I would also try to, I would probably wait on this. I'm going to be honest, guys. I mean, unless you guys see the price going like skyrocketing, I don't foresee that happening, to be honest. I do not foresee this card going, through the roof with price. I think it will eventually actually settle down to around the $15 mark. But we'll see. I mean, I don't know. One thing I always have to say as well, guys, I'm not a financial advisor. So take everything I say with, what's the expression, with a grain of salt, because you never know what's going to happen with the market. You never know what leader they're going to announce. So I would try to keep an eye on it. Okay. Next up, we have Marco. Marco's sitting around the $7 mark as well. I would snag these for around this price if you still need them. I don't foresee this card going too much lower in price because I do not believe this card was reprinted. Only the 4-cost Marco was reprinted. But the 5-cost Marco, if you need it, guys, now's the time to snag it. Now's the time to get it. Like I said, it might go down a little bit more in price, but it could go up as well. It's one of those where it's like if you don't have yours and you need a play set, I'd snag these for sure. Next up, moving over to the green cards. So we've got Zorro going down as low as I've seen it, under the $15 mark, which makes sense to me. I want to see this card get closer and closer to the $10 mark. Now, for a lot of green decks, the spot that this is battling with is the 9-cost Shanks. And guys, 9-cost Shanks is absolutely cracked, right? Now, it's true that Zoro is still very good against something like a yellow deck, because it can start blasting through Enel's shields. But other than like the one matchup, when would you not rather have the Shanks that just pops a character on the board immediately? Like, oh, they have a 10 cost 12k that they just swung with. Oh man, what am I going to do? Just drop Shanks, pop it, and if you're playing Jory Bond, you still have one Dawn to tap down whatever you want to next turn if they have multiple attacks coming in. But yeah, this card is still very good, and you never know what's going to happen in the future. But I'm hoping that this price will keep coming down. I'm going to be keeping my eye on this and all the secret rares. I'm going to be watching them. I'm hoping this card will keep going down. Really good stuff there. Cavendish has gotten back to the $20 mark. It was all the way down to the $14, $15 mark for a while down here, guys. And now it's pushed back up to 20 bucks. Get it if you absolutely need it. That's always my advice, guys. If you absolutely need to get something, you think if you get it, you can win a big tournament with it, well, it'll pay for itself immediately. So by all means, do that. However, if you're not in any rush to get this card, I would probably wait. I don't know. I have no connections with Bandai. But I would not be surprised if they find a way to reprint a lot of these EB01 cards very soon. Because these cards are getting out of control. We haven't even seen the worst ones yet, okay? The EB01 prices are getting out of control. So I would not be surprised if they end up reprinting these. They might not, but I would not be surprised if they did. Okay, next up we got Hody Jones. This card was reprinted. Look at this, guys. It dropped all the way down to the under $1. You love to see it. This is what I absolutely love to see. The cheapest cards possible. I wish they would save the alt-arts to be the really expensive cards and make everything else super cheap and affordable for the everyday, casual, average player. Next up, Eustace Kid, super far down in price. This one, yeah, I think what we're going to do real quick, guys, now that I think about it, we're going to save the card market stuff till the end. I'll try to do a really quick card market summary review at the end. Okay, so Eustace Captain Kid here is down in the dollar range. Absolute snag these immediately, guys. Hody Jones, Eustace Kid, Kid and Killer probably, and Edward Newgate, snag these immediately, guys. If you need them, now is the time to just pull on that. I mean, how much cheaper are they going to get under $1? You know what I mean? They might get a little bit cheaper, but what's the difference really between like 75 cents and $1? You know what I mean? At that point, I would just snag these immediately. Doflamingo as well was reprinted. Look at this, guys. Fell right off a cliff here. Beautiful. Love to see it under $1. If you do not have your Doflamingos, the 10 cost here, snag them immediately. I think this is definitely the time to snag these. Okay, Sanji is still under $10 because remember, guys, it jumped up to around the, like, what is this, the $10 to $15 range. Now it's under $10. It's a secret rare. It's under $10. If you run blue, if blue is your main color, I'd probably think about snagging these pretty soon, guys. I don't think it's going to go much further down. We'll have to see. All right, picking up the pace a little bit, guys. So now we're on the blue cards, right? We're on Sanji. Moving over to Jinbei. Jinbei, guys, he went so far. I was telling everybody to buy this card back then, or all the way back here when it was super cheap. Let me go 6 months out with this. Yeah, because it was always right around the $4 mark, and I was telling people you need to snag this if you plan on running Doflamingo. But guys, now it has peaked up to $12 a card, but it's around $8.50 on average, around $8.50 to $9.50 on average. I would snag this. If you're trying to play Doflamingo, I would just get it over with. This is a core staple card in the deck, so I would go ahead and pick these up immediately if you still need them. Edward Weevil, I wonder what set this one's from. Oh, a rare that costs over $3. A rare, not an SR, a rare. Of course, it's from EB01. This card is up to almost $5 a card for a rare, guys. I just think that's outrageous. I get it. You know, there's only so much in rotation. We're limited in our card pool. The supply is not enough to, you know, meet the demands. But at the same, I mean, it's still enough. Of course, there's plenty of cards to go around. But the reason it is so high is because people are willing to pay this for it right now, right? So really, it's one of those cards. It's the same with Jinbei. It's like if you could somehow wait, the card probably will go down in price over time. But a lot of people want to play Dofi right now. Blue Dofi is extremely powerful going into it's in OP08.5 and going into OP09. So yeah, people want to play it. How can you blame them? It's a very solid deck. Okay, next up is Perona. Guys, if you do not have your Perona right now, I would get these ASAP, right? As soon as possible. Because this is an OP01 rare. And it's, or excuse me, uncommon. And it's not that it's like super, super crazy rare. But the thing is, so many people want these now. And let's take things into consideration, guys. The game in OP01 was much smaller than it is now, as in the player base. There are much more people playing the game now than there were back in OP01. So that almost makes this card a rare, right? It almost makes it, even though it's an uncommon, it almost makes it into the rare slot. And look at what it's costing, guys, $3. I think this is easily the most expensive uncommon in the game. It's like $3 to $4. Keep your eye on this card, guys, on the Perona. I would snag these now, and I would not even be upset about it. If you can get these for under $5 a card right now, I think you're probably doing just fine. Okay, if you need it, of course. Charlotte Pudding, I would grab this. It's a rare. This is a universal blue card. If you plan on playing blue, if blue is your favorite color in the game, and you like the only decks you run are blue, number one, you probably already have this card. But if you're a new player looking to get into the game, this is an auto buy. Like, I mean, just because you're going to run like 2 to 3 of these in any blue deck. You might run up to 4. Yeah, we'll have to see, right? It all depends. But I would snag this as soon as possible because, look, it's only rising in price. This is from OP06, and it's just a rare as far as, like, the rarity goes. So it could go down over time, but this is such a universally good card. It's like, why not just snag it while you can? And it's still under $5. Not the worst thing in the world. Okay, back to EB01. Back to the depressing reality that is EB01. This card right here, Mr. 2 Boncaray Bentham, up to $40, guys. That is outrageous. I can believe it because it's from a set that I don't think saw enough print, or like I don't think it was printed enough. I get the price on it, but that is just crazy, guys. That just seems like ludicrous to me. But it's a 4-cost 1,000 power Dawn Ramp card, so it is good in any deck. It's not leader locked. The win attacking's not bad, and it has a 1K counter. It is just a universally solid card for any deck running any form of purple. Even if it's like, you know, purple in another color or just mono purple, it doesn't matter. This is just such a good card. But that price, guys, and look at this, guys, it's still selling at that price. There's 86, 78, 86 items sold, 51 items sold. It's still selling at this price. I wish more people could have got it back all the way back here, but it is what it is, guys. You got to keep your eye on the market. Got to be dialed in. Got to be locked in. Queen, this card has gone, excuse me, way down in price. Way down in price. Look at this, guys. For a while, it was still selling. Like, look at the 67, 66, 47, 61 items sold. Back when it was still like $12 a card. Look at this, guys. As soon as it went down to under $1, 500 items sold in like a 2 or 3 day span. Really incredible. This is such a good card. If you don't have your queens and you're trying to get into this game, this is a staple. I would absolutely snag this card. Under $1, why wouldn't you anyway, right? Grab it. Okay, next up is Sabo. Moving into the black cards, right? We got Sabo. This is a secret rare. Guys, this is a secret rare under $5. I would buy these up so quickly if I needed these, okay? Again, if you don't need them, then don't do it. I don't know if this card will go up in the future or not. We are starting... Let me say this, guys. Let me sit up in my seat. We are starting to see some more Dressrosa cards pop up. Oh, excuse me. This one's Revo Army. Maybe that's why it didn't pick up when we saw the Dressrosa action. This is a Revo Army card. Somehow they didn't make it Dressrosa as well. But that's okay. It happens. That's like something to do with the lore usually. But either way, guys, this card is still very good. It's an 8-cost secret rare 9K that pops 2 bodies, and it's under $5. Snap buy right here, guys. This is an auto buy. Okay, Kuzan has gone way down in price. Looks like he's probably going to sit around the $3 to $4 range, or maybe up to the $5 range. We take those. That seems really good for a secret rare of this caliber. Auto buy at this price point, guys. That's what I would do personally. I'd just immediately buy this. If you need it. Again, it's always going to come down if it's something you've been waiting to buy. You know, if the question in your mind is, well, let's see how low it will go. I don't foresee it going much lower than $4, but it could. It could. Remember, guys, if you're trying to compare this to like 9-cost Newgate, it's not the same. This is a secret rare, and then the 9-cost Newgate. Where was he? I keep skipping up. There he is. This is an SR. Okay, so this is not as rare as a secret rare like Kuzan is. So there's a reason this card is still even more expensive than you'd think it would be after seeing something like Newgate. It's because of the rarity. So I would snag these, guys, for a secret rare of this caliber, a 10-cost card like this. I would just snag it if you need it. Again, if you need it. Okay, next up is Rebecca. Rebecca has seen a jump in price, guys. If you do not have your Rebeccas, I don't know what you're waiting on. For all this time, this card was under $5 for the longest time. Look at this card was like under $5. Now it's in the $7, $8 range. I don't know if it will do it, but guys, I would not be surprised if we see Rebecca start getting into this range. Like, look at this, guys. OP04 SR. And what is Rebecca? Oh, she's an OP05 SR. So she's like she came out a little bit after Sabo, but just one set after. And they're both SRs, and they're both going to be used in roughly the same decks, generally speaking. And we do know there's a new excuse me. There's going to be a lot more Dressrosa support coming out in OP10. So we do know that is on the horizon. If you do not have your Rebecca's, guys, like I said, and you're playing, and you plan on playing Dressrosa or anything to do with black, I would snag these immediately, guys, because it's already starting to get into the $10 range. It's getting very close. Be careful with that, guys. Watch keep an eye on that. Gecko Moria has gone way down in price because this was reprinted in PRV01. You love to see it. This card's gone way, way, way down in price, right? All the way down to the $3 range. I would snag these immediately if you need them. Brooke, another EB01 disaster, right? No, I'm just kidding. It's not that bad. And I don't mean to complain, guys. I'm trying to be a little bit funny with it. I'm not completely doom and gloom or anything. But Brooke is up to $30 now, guys. This is an SR. The last time we saw an SR hit this range was like Borsellino, right? Borsellino, Kuzan. Queen was like I guess it wasn't an SR, it was like an ST rarity deck. Or it was in an ST deck, so it had that kind of rarity. But guys, look at this. 29, 29, 31, 31, 30, 30, 30. There's no way I'd be paying for this card at this price because I felt the same way about the Borsellinos. I felt the same way when Eustace Kid was up at this price. But that's just a problem right now with EB01 because it looks like Bandai has gotten a pretty good hold of keeping the market in check, and I love that. Like, I really, really like that. Excuse me, but I would not be surprised after seeing these EB01 prices. I would not be surprised if they found a way to get these cards reprinted. We'll have to see. Again, don't quote me because I have no connections to Bandai. I have no idea. That's just speculating based off what I've seen from past trends. So I would hold off on this card if you possibly could. If you absolutely need it, though, it's on you. It's your money. Okay, next up is Sabo. Same idea with this card. This card is kind of stabilized at like the $25 range. A little too expensive in my opinion, but at the same time, this is an incredibly powerful card. I would wait and see if you're not in any rush. If you're just trying to collect cards to see if they drop, I would wait and see to see if this card gets reprinted in something in the future. I don't know when or where or anything like that, but I just whenever these cards hit a certain price, I do think Bandai is doing a good enough job where it's like I think they're going to try and cut it down. Other than with alternate rarity arts like alt arts and stuff like that, that's totally different. But with stuff like this, I could foresee them finding a way to reprint this card. Because personally, I would not want to buy this card for $25. Not saying it's not worth it. I'm just saying I wouldn't want to buy it at that. Okay, Borsellino reprint. Notice this disclaimer. This card was reprinted from the original set with changes to the artist credit. Note the lack of pin symbol next to the artist name. I'm not sure, guys. I'm not sure what's going on there. They're just trying to say there should be a little pin symbol right here. Doesn't matter to me. If I can play the card, we'll take it every single time, right? So Borsellino down to under $2, guys. Snap decision. Buy this immediately. No hesitation. Take these as soon as you can, guys. Absolutely. Really good stuff. Kuzan, same exact thing. This is a reprint, guys. Under $2. Just boom, auto buy. These are actually around $2, but still, I would snatch these up. I'd snag them as soon as I could. One more EB01 card, I think. Laboon. $16 for Laboon right now. Guys, this card was like under $1. Let me go back 6 months. Hang on a second. Guys, look at this. This card was like $1 all the way back when it first came out, and for the longest time, it was sitting around $1. But then as soon as Blackbeard started running it, I think that's when the price started increasing. Look at this, guys. Went up to $5, then it went up to $8, then it went up to $13, and now it's up to $16, $17, $20, $25 a card, guys. Outrageous. Keep your eye on this card, guys. Oh, by the way, Jack's around $2. That's good to know. We didn't even do the OP08 stuff. But yeah, so Laboon's way up there. Now I think we got the yellow cards. All right, let's start wrapping this up, guys. We're over to the yellow cards. Port Gosti Ace. This is a $20 card now. I have the same feeling about this card as I do about Rayleigh, where I think this is a really good card, but only like 2 or 3 decks are even running this card. So I expect the price, excuse me, I do expect the price to kind of get closer to $15. We'll have to see what happens. This is just like Rayleigh, where it's not leader locked. It is just an incredibly solid yellow card. It can be thrown in any deck that runs yellow. But we're going to have to keep our eye on it, right? We'll have to keep our eye on this one. I do expect this card to continue to drop in price. However, it's also one of those cards, just like what we're seeing with Rayleigh, where it's like this incredibly awesome looking art, and it's just a very generically good card for its color. So I think people are just buying it up. I don't think people are even asking questions. It's like, I don't care what it costs, I'm just going to buy the card. So I do get that. I do understand that. Okay, next up. Look at this, guys. Wow. This card used to be in the $80 range. Let's go a year back, guys. Let's talk about this. Look at this card, guys. The journey that this card has been through. Charlotte Katakuri, the secret rare from OP03. This card was $53, then it jumped up to $75, up to $85. This is the most complaining I ever had to do about a card in this game. This was the first time where I saw a card and I thought, uh-oh, I'm concerned about the future of this game. Immediately. That was my first thought was, okay, this card is too expensive. I'm actually concerned with the future of this game when there are cards that expensive. Okay, but look what happened. Over time, it did go down to 60, up to 70, down all the way down into the 50s again, back up to the 60s and 70s, and it slowly went down once they released the PRB01 information that was going to be reprinted. And look at this. Once PRB01 was finally released, down to the $15 and under range. You love to see it. This is awesome, really good stuff. Make sure not to grab the Japanese versions like we can see here, but this card has gotten so much cheaper. It's so much more affordable. Great card. I would pick these up if you don't already have them. Okay, this is another, incredible yellow card, just like the Ace we just saw, where it gains you life, it has utility, and it can just do so much. So this is definitely a card worth snagging as soon as you can. Okay, we got two more cards, both of the Linlands. 10-cost Linland was not reprinted in PRB01, so it's up to about $11 right now, guys. This card was good the day it was printed, and for the longest time, it was very cheap, guys, like under the $5 mark. It jumped up to $12 for a while there when Pudding was released, or Pudding was spoiled. Fell back down to under $5, went all the way down to $2 again. Now it's jumping up to, it's jumped up to $15 now. Went down to $6, or excuse me, it went up to $15, then down to $6. Now it's at 11 to 12 bucks. I don't foresee this going down anytime soon unless they announce a reprint for it. So I would snag these if you absolutely need them. If you're trying to get into the game and you're trying to run yellow, this is your most important card. It is actually more important than the secret rare we just looked at. That's also Big Mom Pirates. Like, remember, Charlotte Katakuri and Linland, they're all under the Big Mom Pirates umbrella. So this card is actually more important in a Big Mom Pirates deck than this card is. So I would snag these as soon as I possibly could if I were you, if you're trying to get into the game and you're trying to get into yellow with Big Mom Pirates. One more Charlotte Linland. Okay, we got this SR here from ST07. That's why it's so expensive. You might as well consider this like almost a secret rare because it's from starter decks that are no longer available. Or if they are available, they're extremely limited. But yeah, guys, this card, it was around $15 for quite some time. It fell as low as $10, and it's back up to $12. I would snag this as soon as you could if you still need this card. Who knows? They might reprint it in the future. I hope they do. I hope they reprint it in the future, because I always try to think of the long-term health of the game, right? And if these cards cost this much money now when the game is still in this, this game's only two and a half years old, right? It's going on 3 years. This game is still very young. If we're looking at like 5 or 6 years down the road, number one, I hope they implement some type of I don't know what I want to say, a block set, like block rotations, but a lot of people are opposed to that. That will be a topic. I just thought about that, guys. That will be a future topic of the day for another video, but not for right now. But let me say this real quick, guys. In the future of this game, if they do not find a way to reprint or start doing rotations, some of these cards will start getting astronomical in price if people are still playing the game a lot in the future. As newer players come into the game and these old cards aren't reprinted, well, the scarcity becomes the issue. So hopefully something can be done here. We'll have to see what Bandai does. None of us control Bandai. None of us have any, hey, if you have a connection with Bandai and by all means tell us in the comment section below. But, I have no idea what they have in store for us there. Okay, so now real quick, we're going to summarize really quickly with a bunch of the cards on Cardmarket. First up, let's go through the red cards. We're going to go through not all of these, but just some of the more pricier ones. First up is Rayleigh. Let's check this one out. Okay, Silver's Rayleigh. Yep, version 1. It looks like this card's around the same in Europe, actually. Look at that, around 25 euros. It's actually more expensive in Europe if you think about it. Because, guys, over here in well, no, it's about the same, actually. $27, $28. And, okay, never mind. Yeah, it's almost exactly the same, I would say, after, like, you know, taxes and all that stuff. After conversion and taxes and all that good stuff, I think it's probably roughly the exact same. Okay, next up, let's see how Chopper's doing for you guys. Very curious about this. EB01 Chopper. So this card is around 6 to 7 euros. I would auto buy this. What does this mean? Professional, power seller. Oh, that's cool. There's like they have designations for how good a seller is on here. They do on Cardmarket, or excuse me, on TCG Player as well. It's just like this star and this thing. Okay, I guess it's probably the same thing. So star means gold star seller, and certified hobby shop is the two symbols that you normally see. But it looks like in Cardmarket they have professional and power seller. Very interesting. Okay. All right. So, but anyway, Tony Chopper under the $10 range. I would snag these immediately if you don't already have these. Let's check out Portgosti Ace real quick as well. I think this is OP02. Correct? Let me see something. Yeah. OP02. Okay, so these are Japanese up here. Man, this card is like really cheap over there. Look at this, 250. 250 euros. Under $3. Yeah, guys, if you're in Europe and you need the aces, I would snag those like immediately. If that price was correct, we were just looking at like around the, what was it? 3 euros? Yeah. Auto buy it, guys. Auto buy that for sure. Okay, so that's it for the red ones. We're not going to look at these. Actually, we'll look at Marco. We will look at Marco. OP03 Marco. Marco, OP03. It looks like this one's around, well, actually, let's get back. We got to get past all the Japanese ones real quick. 4 euros, 450, under 5. If you can get under 5 euros, I'd snag it immediately, guys. That's just me. That's just me. But like I said, like over here, like look how this card is starting to move over here in over in America, like up to the $8 range, $9 range. Yeah, I'd snag it if it's for under 5 euros. Okay, now let's check out Zorro real quick. This is the secret rare Zorro. So let's see here. I think it was OP06. All right, it was. Oh yeah, great price, guys. 10 euros, 11 euros. I'd snatch that up. Especially this 9.49 one. That seems pretty good. Seems pretty good. I'd take that. Okay, now let's look up Cavendish. EB01 Cavendish. Dude, these are really good, guys. These are really good prices. Because remember, ours was like, what was it? 20 USD, right? $20 USD. Half of that in euros. And these are English versions. Look at this. Unless it's like not correct. These are under 10 euros. Immediately buy those, guys. Immediately buy those if you don't have them already. Hody Jones has gone down in price. We're not going to look at that. We know these cards have gone down since PRB. Sanji. All right, moving over to the blue stuff. Let's check out Sanji real quick. This is OP06 Sanji, I believe. Yep, OP06 Sanji, well under 10 euros. I would, without hesitation, I'd snag these immediately if you need them. If you need them. Okay, let's keep keep going. Oh, Jinbei. Let's go to Jinbei, and then we'll go to Edward Weevil. So Jinbei is it the OP07? Yeah, I believe it's OP07 Jinbei. Yep, it sure is. Yeah, so it's about the same price for you guys over in Europe as it is for us over here in America. Roughly the same price. Let's go over to Edward Weevil. Edward Weevil. And it's EB01 Edward Weevil. Okay, still not too bad over there, guys. Still not too bad. Let me see something real quick. I got to go back to Jinbei. Yeah, I just wanted to make sure it was the English versions. Excuse me. Someone said that you can like adjust that over here. I just look for the flag. That works for now. But yeah, it looks like about $1.50. Almost 2 euros for this. I would snatch those up because that's about the same for us over here in the West, or over here in America. Perona. I wonder how Perona is for you guys. This is OP01 Perona. Okay. Oh wow, free. So okay. Wait. This is all Japanese. Hang on a second. Look at this. We might have to sort this one. Look at this. Okay, yeah, about 2 euros. Wow, that's weird. So this card is just seeing, you know, insane increase, an insane increase in play all over the world, and the price is going up 2 euros for this. And remember, guys, it's an uncommon from OP01. Keep your eye on that card, guys. Keep your eye on it. Okay, Perona, Pudding. All right, Bon Carré, here we go. Y'all's EB01 prices have been better than ours. Bon Carré. Let me see something. EB01. I think I picked the right one. Yep. Whew, man, if I saw these cards right now on TCG Player for $20 each, I think I would make an investment, guys. I'd be making an investment. I'd be like, just buy straight. I'm just kidding. But no, seriously, 25 euros right now for this card is a really good deal, considering the rarity of EB01 and compared to what it is over here in the United States, over here in North America. I would snatch that card up quick, guys, if you still need it. Okay, Queen we know is down. This card should be down. The Kuzans. Let's see how Rebecca's doing for you guys, because it's almost up to 10 USD for us, man, for Rebecca. OP05 Rebecca. Whoops, I did not mean to hit that. There we go. Okay, up to 2 euros. So see, it is moving. It is moving everywhere. Hang on, I got to go back. Was I had to make sure. Okay, we are on the English versions. I always got to check that. All right, so yeah, 2 euros, 250 euros. I would snag the. If you do not have your Rebecca and you're over in Europe and you can buy from any of these places, I would snatch these up, guys. Just immediate, like, no hesitation. Let's see how Sabo's looking. OP04 Sabo. And for you guys, it's almost to 20 euros. Again, guys, we don't know if this will be reprinted or not. So I'm not saying I'd want to buy this at this price, but it would be safe to buy it at this price before it goes up any further, without knowing if they're going to do any reprints or not. Okay, let's keep going. So we went through the Rebecca. Gecko's already going to be low. Oh, EB01 Brooke. Let's see how this is for you guys. This card is just so good, man. The Brooke is just so good. Yeah, 15 euros. Well, guys, it's about double that for us over here in the States. So I'd snag it now if you really need this card, because it might just go up even further. It might go up even further. Be careful with that one, guys. Okay, we checked Brooke out. We checked out Sabo. Borsalino and Kuzan are going to be way down, of course. Laboon, another EB01 card. Let's check this one out. Oops, did not mean to do that. I can't even type right now. All right, Laboon is EB01, the version 1. And yeah, 10 euros. Not surprised. It's still cheaper than like, it's cheaper for you guys than it is for us over in America, but it's also not too bad. It's really not too bad. All right, let's keep going. Excuse me. All right, so we went through these. Laboon. All right, so now for the secret rares. Let me just go through each one of these. It's okay. The 2 Linlins and the 2 secret rares. All right, let's check these out. Okay, should be the OP08 Ace here. Nope, just kidding. Should not be that one. Let me just do it like this. Is it OP07? Yes. Okay, I got confused there. Okay, 15 euros. Not bad for us. It's around 20 USD, so a little bit cheaper than ours. So pretty. And looking at the graph, guys, pretty consistent price. I'd probably snag it. I'd probably snag it if you don't already have them and you need them. All right, let me see Katakuri for you guys. I'm really curious to see Katakuri for y'all. All right, OP03 Katakuri. Okay. All right. Wait, hang on a second. I gotta go back now. Yeah, these are all English. Now going back to Katakuri. Yeah, right around $10, even for the non-Japanese versions. Like for the English versions, right around 10. That's awesome, guys. Get these as soon as you can if you don't already have them. Get them as soon as you can if you do not already have them. Okay, OP03 first is what we'll do. Okay, this one's okay. These are Japanese. Right around 6 euros. Not too bad, because it was 10 USD, so I would snag these. I'd snag these as well, because I think these are just going to go up, guys. I'm just being honest with you guys. I think the prices are just going to go up on this. And now let's check out the other Linlin from ST07. Here it is. 7 euros, 8 euros. Again, guys, I would definitely snag this one, because this is from the starter decks, and it's under 10 euros. Our currency is actually pretty close, guys, so I would definitely get that. All right, that's it for those guys. Now let's head over to Limitless TCG. We got to check out, let's just check out like the top 4 or 5 decks today. I don't want to spend too much time on this. I say that, we'll probably end up checking out like 8 or 9 of them. So guys, I'm over on Limitless TCG. I will link this in the comment section if you do not know where we're at right here. This website is an absolutely incredible resource for you as a new player. You can make your own decks on here, guys. Look at this. If you go to tools, you can do a deck builder. And then if you click on decks, you have all of these tournament listed decks at your disposal. And it gives the prices. It's linked to TCG Player and Cardmarket. So here we go. Let's check out Lucci first, because this is a very strong deck. We'll look at this was a 4th place one on the same day as this one, even though it's not the same regional. This is on Bologna. Is that how you say that? All right, so let's click on this one from, I want to say Jacopo. Is that how you'd say that? Jacopo Zuccatelli. Let's see how they did. Look at this, guys. Only under $200. Like, that's actually, I'm very happy to see that, because look at this. If you go to, so the Sabo is still expensive, but where's like the, actually, are they not running Kuzan? Let me just go through the list real quick. Yeah, here's Kuzan. Okay, I was like, wait a minute. There's no way. There's no way they're not running Kuzan or Borsalino. That would just be crazy. But look at this. 4 Kuzans for under $10. We'll take it every single time. Really, really good. Rebecca's getting a little up there in price, guys. It is getting up there. Got to be careful about that one. Gecko Mori is way down in price. 2 Jacks. It's running one of the 6 cost Brook, and it's not running any of the little Brooks, it looks like. Either way, really good stuff here. This deck is under $200 for a top tier deck in the format, guys. Okay, that was now let's go over to Black Yellow Luffy. Here's a first place list from that same Bologna regional. Hopefully I'm saying that right. I'm probably butchering it. From Gianluca Di Clemente. All right, let's check this one out. Under $200, guys. This is insane. Like this list used to be like close to the $300 range, I think, at one point. But seeing it all the way down at under $200, you love to see it. The most expensive card by far is this Sabo. Flampeys are about $5 a pop right now. Flampey is a card I forgot to add to the list. About $5 a pop right now for Flampeys. And then we got the Gecko Morias. Yeah, really good stuff, guys. Really good stuff here. I love seeing these prices so low. Okay, Bonnie, here's a 4th place list we'll look at this one from the regional at Adelaide by Dylan Mao. $122, guys. That is crazy. The only card here, look at this. If Cavendish costs under $80, if you take the Cavendish out, this deck becomes a $45 deck. That's insane, guys. That's so good. I love seeing that. Absolutely incredible. Okay, let's keep going. Nami, we already know this deck is super, super cheap, but we will check this one out at Bologna. Under $50. We'll take it every single time. Guys, if you want to see the exact list, I'm going to link it in the comment section below, and you can go through it at your own leisure. Okay, now this Luffy ends up being like the most expensive one last time because it's running 3 Brooks. Yeah, this deck is running $300. Guys, there's no way I would pick this deck over Lucci, even though it's meant to like kind of counter Lucci because it does the cost increase. There's no way I'd be picking this deck over Lucci, and it's $100 more than Lucci is. So that's just me. That's just me personally. And I also think that Lucci transitions better into OP09 than this deck will. So I'm just saying, guys, buy at your own discretion. But again, this is one of those decks. Excuse me. This is one of those decks that I do not actually recommend, especially within the black card pool. I'd rather you run Lucci. And soon Blackbeard will be out. That will probably be a very cheap deck, other than the Laboon, right? Other than the Laboon, that will probably be a very cheap deck. We'll have to see what happens. Don't quote me on that. We'll have to see. All right, Red Purple Law. Wait, okay, that's been gone. Hang on. Doflamingo. Let's check this one out. 3rd place. This was at Adelaide. Let's check it out by Jimmy Shee. Okay, $105 deck, guys. This is one of the best decks in the format at $100. Incredible, guys. We're looking at Pokemon prices. Did I, hang on, there was one, I forgot to mention this person's name that we looked at. Lorenzo Gualandi. I like to give credit where it's due, guys, for the list that we look at for the 6th place finish with the Black Luffy ST14 deck, I think it was. Okay, and now we are going to look at this because I want to know what the price is. Because, guys, Yamato, Katakuri, and Ace was the top end. For a while, this deck was like close to $450, I think, or maybe right under $500. So let's see how it looks now. 1st place list in OP0 8.5 at Regional Adelaide. Anthony Yap, 1st place list. Let's take a look. $228, literally half the price it used to be, and just awesome. Awesome results there with it. It's still very competitive, and I think this deck will not be terrible in OP09. It will just have one incredibly bad matchup in Blackbeard. But people might find a way to tech against that. We'll have to see what happens. Or maybe a certain way to play against it. We'll have to see. But yeah, really good stuff there. That deck has gotten so far down in price. It used to be so expensive because of the Katakuris. Okay, Purple Luffy we will check out, but this list will probably change very soon once OP09 hits. So this is in the region, one of the regions we were just looking at. The person's name is Dimitri Salamina. $135, guys. $140. We'll take it. Like, that's really not bad. The most expensive card are the 4 Magellans. Oh, that's a card we should have looked at. Hang on, guys. Hang on. Okay, 770 euros and 1132 USD. Guys, make sure you have this card if you're trying to play purple, and I would snag it now. Guys, this is an OP02SR. I would get this as soon as possible. If this was not reprinted in PRB01, if you plan on playing purple, snatch it up. Just grab it, like especially in Europe. It's under 10 euros in Europe still. I would snag these immediately. Okay, really good stuff there. Purple Luffy's looking really promising going into OP09 as well. Okay, let's look at a few more. I do want to look at Reiju because I just have a soft spot for this deck. I think this is a really strong deck. Okay, this is on Cardmarket Online Regional. This is 8th place. Let's see how this is. $21. That's a $20 bill, guys. Like, you take a $20 bill out of your back pocket and just exchange it for this deck. That's insane, guys. And this is a very strong deck. And we did see that this deck will be getting some support in OP10. Okay, spoiler, guys. Spoiler warning. But there's a searcher, a one-cost Sanji Vinsmoke type of searcher. I don't think itself is Sanji. Hopefully, that was clumsy. You guys know what I'm trying to say. I don't think it can search up... how do I say this? I think it can search up Vinsmoke, but I do not believe it is Germa 66, where you can search it up with the stage. So it's kind of balanced in that way. But anyway, that's a topic for another discussion or for another day. Long story short, I think Reiju is one of the absolute, if not the absolute best decks to use if you're a new player trying to get into the game. And for that price point, how can you beat it, guys? It teaches you so much about the game. So again, back to this guy here, Edux13, $21 for this deck. Incredible. Absolutely incredible. Okay, let's see if there's anything else. We're not going to look at some of these. We will look at Katakuri because I have seen this. I feel like this deck is always a sleeper in the format where it's like this could just run away with one if it gets decent matchups, or if it just gets insane triggers. And this deck, guys, under $120 right now, seems good. Guys, the game is like at the cheapest point I think it's ever been. Like, there are still some problems. Like, certain decks do still cost too much, but man, just incredible. Okay, what else? That's probably where we'll leave it, guys. I don't want to go through too many more of these. Okay, we'll finish on Red, Yellow, Bello, Betty. We'll finish on this deck. Adam Murray's list here. This is from the regional in Madison, Wisconsin, 13th place. Look at this, guys. Here we go. You ready? $30. Guys, Red, Yellow, Revolutionary Army is it, okay? It's good for the new players. It's a competitive list. Requires skill. It rewards skilled play, and sometimes it can just high roll like crazy. I'm not saying that this player did that to get top 16. I'm saying that the deck can high roll with the triggers, and they can just get out of control. Really, really good stuff. And one more thing, always be thinking about, well, how would this deck do next set? So I'm not just buying a deck, and then like it's just not good in like 2 months. No, guys, in OP09, this deck gets even more toys to play with, and I think they're pretty good. We'll talk about that in another video, I'm sure. All right, that's it, guys. Let's go ahead and hop over. Got one game to go over on the sim, and then we'll wrap up this video. We got a game of blue-black Sakazuki. I know it's not the blue-black Sakazuki that everyone wants, right? Let me go speed, 2x, volumes off. Let me hit play. We're going against Gecko Moria here. I am running a interesting hybrid package today. Notice some of the cards in my hand. All right, top 5, we're setting that. I don't know if we need to run the Perona, but I'm running it anyway, right? We'll run it anyway, just to try and set cards up on top of the deck. So the Gecko Moria is going to swing for 6. It looks like they're going to use their leader effect here, trashing 2 cards from hand, playing out the Absalom, KOing my Perona, but getting rid of his trash. So that was a pretty decent trade. He can have the Perona. We don't really need that, and I can promise you guys I'm running Gecko Moria in this deck. So if I need that Perona later, we'll be able to snag it back. Play out the Jinbei. Oh, hang on, that's not Navy, guys. That's not Navy. Running the Jinbei here, cheating out Edward Weevil. This is a Navy 7 Warlords hybrid package. Okay, we'll look at the deck list in a minute. They're going to swing for 6 at me again. Okay, they took my hit for 5, and they're going to swing at me for 6. They did not use the leader effect. They're going to swing for 5 more. I don't want to take this because I start with only 4 life, right? He plays out the Kuzan to draw a card, gets really good board, a really good board here. And here we go, guys. I have to start making some really relevant decisions here. Okay, going to swing for 5. Let's see what he gives me. I want to, just poke him. Let's see what he wants to do. And the thing is, I don't really want to swing into the Absalom, because if I swing into the Absalom, he's going to pull it back after attacking with his Kuzan next turn to pop my stuff. So we'll do a brand new there. We'll do a Gecko. We get the 2K counter back. We grabbed a Garp from hand, and now we can start popping these characters on the board. That's right, guys. We're running Garp in this deck. We are running Garp. Very fun. He's actually really strong against like any kind of 7 Warlords deck because they have so many 4-cost characters. But you are trashing a card to use the effect. Okay, so they're going to swing 7 into 5. We're going to take that. That's a big hit there. We're gonna counter out of this one. And this guy's getting very aggressive, and he's not developing his board. That is the one issue that I saw with that last turn. Like, I think the Gecko player had a turn there to get set up, and they chose not to. They started rushing the game. Well, now, hey, I'm actually going to tax you here. I'm going to take every card out of your hand. Okay, so, hey, he did give me every card out of hand to save that card. Let's see what we choose to do here. I have a Garp in hand still, so I still can do stuff. I have 2 blockers. There's a lot of things I can do here. Let's swing for 5 more. Okay, he lets it go. That's kind of telling me he has 0 counter power in hand, guys. Because why wouldn't he just use it there? So we'll play out the buggy here. We'll set the cards we need. Yeah, I think I just want to grab the 2K counter next turn anyway. We'll keep the Sakazuki after that if we need KO, because we already have the Garp for removal. Okay. All right, here we go. It looks like they're going to play out a Gecko Moria. This is their 9 Dawn turn. They did a minus... pause, hang on 1 second. So they did a -5 Ice Age to my my Weevil, which is... Okay, I guess it makes sense. Never mind. So they do that to the Weevil, and then they're going to pull out the Absalom and the Suru with Gecko Moria. Okay, here we go. Okay, so 5 into 3 there. They can have the brand new. I probably could have let them have the Gecko Moria as well, but I don't want to give up too much tempo here. I want to keep smacking into their board. 5 into 5. He should just let this card go, to be honest. I mean, he can counter if he wants to, but I'm just going to keep swinging into his board. He sees what I'm doing, right? Like, it's very clear. It's like, hey, man, recognize the patterns, right? I'm swinging 5 in your board 3 more times. Okay? All right, well, let's go. Now I'm going 6 into it. Now we'll go 6 into this guy. He's gone. We're going to play this guy out, cheat out the Jinbei. We've got a Borsalino follow-up. Guys, this is like Attack of the 4-cost characters or something. This deck right here is just Attack of the 4 costs. And then I do run Gecko. We just haven't seen it yet. Because, guys, by the way, you know, Gecko Moria, the 8-cost black character, that is Thriller Bark, 7 Warlords of the Sea. We will talk about that more in a minute. Okay, they're loading up for 3 on their... They're loading up to swing 8 into my guy here. I'm really confused what's going on at this point. Like, okay, and then they use the effect, so they only have 5 Dawn left for the turn, so I'm expecting like a Sabo maybe. So I let that card go. He can have that card. I really don't care about that. He's going to go 9 into 5 here. Okay, he just loads it for 5. Like, hey, man, I have a Borsalino. As it turns out, I do have a Borsalino just to stop that. So let's just talk about it. The sequencing there did matter. What they should have done is they should have actually swung for 5 first with the Suru. If that was their plan all along, they should have done that first, because then if I block with my Borsalino, then he can focus all of his attacks into the Borsalino where I have to let it go. Okay, we get the buggy here. Let's see what happens. We're going to go 5 into face. I would be surprised if he counters out of this. Yep. Because, I mean, he needs cards. He needs cards in hand. And now it's like, okay, well, wait a minute. Do we just have lethal? So swing 9. And I think he's starting to sweat here like, oh, dear. Yep, we're going to swing for 10. We're just going to call it. He had exactly 10, so that was not enough to get out of it. Very fun game. Let's check out the list, guys. This was a fun deck. I think it has potential, but I'm still working on it. It's still in the works, right? And one thing I think will be better for this deck is if I transition it over to Usopp when that comes out in OP10, the Blue-Black Dressrosa leader. I think there could be some fun stuff we could do there. We'll have to see. You know, patience. We'll have to see what we can do there. Well, this is the list, guys. I think the Perona's okay, but I don't think we actually need it that much in this list. This would be the first card that I cut. Sengoku is actually really good, because remember, guys, brand new can search up Navy types, right? Oh, well, it just so happens Sengoku's Navy. So I think one of the first things I would probably change... Well, I don't know. I still like the Perona. Let me say that right now. Because if I start searching over my Gecko Morias with, like, the brand news or the Sengokus, that's like a nightmare, right? That's like a nightmare. But we'll have to see what happens. But yeah, other than that, guys, let me run through the list. It's running 4 Weevils, 4 Perona, 4 Gion. This is a 2K counter Navy searchable card that helps with the Nami matchup. 4 Jinbei, 4 Sengoku, 4 Gecko Moria, the 4 cost, 4 Dracula Mihawk, 4 Buggy, 3 Sakazukis, and 3 Garps, by the way. That's the 2 3-ups. Instead of being like all 4s and a 2, it's 2 3s. And then 4 Borsalinos. Hopefully y'all understood that, guys. That was probably like cryptic language there almost to some people, but hopefully that made sense. But then 4 Borsalinos, 4 brand news, 4 Gecko Moria. So that's the list, guys. It felt pretty strong. I didn't quite have to use removal that game because the guy was not developing his board enough, and I think that came back to bite him in the butt. And I will say this, guys, when I was testing this deck, it was pretty rough. It was hard. Okay, guys, this is one of those decks where you queue it up and you lose about 3 or 4 straight before you really figure out how to use the deck and make some revisions to it. But I do think there's still some potential to it. And I think the main potential will be not running this leader. Like, if we can get into, like, something more Dressrosa flavored, maybe then we can combo with the Gecko Moria, Jimbei, Edward Weevil type of package. We'll have to see. Again, this is just like a project for the future. All right, guys, that's it. We're done. Hope y'all enjoyed that. Let me get up the play map page here. Guys, please do not forget to like and subscribe if you've not already. Big shout out to everybody who supports the channel, whether you're liking, subscribing, sharing, commenting, viewing, whatever you're doing. I really appreciate it, guys. Thank you so much. Big shout out to all the VV Pirates playmat supporters. And then last but not least, of course, the patrons. Thank you guys so much for supporting me in the ways that you do. And yeah, we're done, guys. Hope y'all enjoyed. Please do not forget to like and subscribe. If you have any comments, questions, or suggestions, please do not hesitate to put those in the comment section below. Until next time, guys. Peace.